Tzuchi's bone marrow donation care team shares various stories with Dhamma Master Zhen. A Taichung Tzu Chi care recipient rises above life's challenges through music despite being paralyzed. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. While in Taichung, Dhamma Master Zhen had a heartwarming sit-down with the local Tzu Chi volunteers. Tzuchi's bone marrow donation care team seized the opportunity to tell the master about some touching stories. Last year, Tzuchi's bone marrow donation care team went over to the Taichung Veteran General Hospital to deliver care and Christmas greetings for the patients. Head nurse Hong Li-qing has been assisting the bone marrow donation process for a total of 9 years already. She has also finished her volunteer training and became a Tzu Chi commissioner.
The medical profession is a job that allows us to accumulate merit. Therefore, I often tell my colleagues that we need to cherish what we do on a daily basis.
One bone marrow transplant recipient, Chen Youmei's younger brother, was successfully matched with a leukemia patient. Despite his mother's initial concerns, he was able to donate his bone marrow with the encouragement of the care team.
A bone marrow donor shared his experience with him so that he felt at ease about donating his bone marrow.
Last year, the DaAi drama Mission Perfection told the stories of the Tzu Chi bone marrow donation care team, and it was well received by the audience.
At the stem cell registry blood drives, many people have told us that they've learned about the safety of donating bone marrow from watching the DaAi drama.
慈济人如何为人间付出？我们在身体力行啊！佛陀所教的菩萨法，无够干，就是把家己的身心奉献。
The more people register with the Tzu Chi stem cell registry, the more chances there is to save leukemia patients' lives. In Taiwan, the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion at the Taichung Flora Expo has attracted more than 46,000 visitors. Local Tzu Chi volunteers have worked diligently to promote environmental protection concepts at the pavilion. Dhamma Master Zhen expressed her gratitude for these volunteers. For people with visual impairment, they felt the objects with their hands. The teachers and students from Taichung School for the Visually Impaired were impressed after visiting the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion.
The children feel with their sense of touch. When they feel the dragonfly, they will know it is an insect, but they are not sure which one it is. Therefore, we will describe it for them.
The children really like the animals that were made with recycled packaging bands. Chen Mingyang, who enjoys creating paper crafts, has brought several of his works, including qipao and a beautiful flower.
那你为什么选粉红色的跟紫色的？
还没过年。
过年，喜气洋洋啊！这一群呢，很优秀的孩子们呐，他们有发挥到。 心眼，心的目，心眼呐哈，他从内心来看世界哈，都是那样的清楚，总是呢，人呐，实在是哈不可思议的有那一份的良能存在。
The students at Fongyuan Parent-Child class have begun to practice environmental protection after visiting the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion.
I practice saving water in my daily life. I will share my practice with my classmates. I try to adopt a vegetarian diet and cut down my meat dishes.
The humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion has been open for nearly 2.5 months, and there have been 46,000 visitors. 6-year-old Pan Le-Xu has drawn pictures of what he learned at the pavilion.
Looking at the picture, I could immediately tell it is about saving water, because he drew a basin, a water pipe, and a thin strand of water.
The humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion has taught these children the principles of environmental protection.
我们呢，这一群菩萨，不是为展而展，他们是真诚用心，是为大地，也真诚用心了为教育。教育呢，家庭，教育孩子。
The master is grateful that the volunteers have been doing their best to promote environmental protection at the humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion. The success of the humanitarian ecotech pavilion relies on the help of many volunteers. Next, we'll meet Wang Zongbin, who's one of the main coordinators at the pavilion.
The humanitarian ecotech pavilion faces different situations every day. Wang Zongbin is one of the main coordinators of the pavilion. If something happens, he will be there to solve the problem. The duration of Flora Expo is about 170 days. Therefore, there's a high demand for volunteers. As Tzu Chi volunteers from 5 districts takes turn to provide guided tours, the coordinator of each district plays an important role.
The main coordinators work very hard. As a district coordinator, we will do our best to cooperate with them.
After retiring as a teacher, Wang Zongbin had joined Tzu Chi. He became a certified Tzu Chi commissioner 13 years ago. He's very good at communicating with others. In addition, he was the main coordinator at the Buddha Day ceremony of the Central Region. The devotion of the senior volunteers at the pavilion had made a huge impression in him.
Here, most of the docents are senior volunteers. I'm grateful to all of them. They work very hard and they are all fast learners.
Mr. Wang believes that the success of the pavilion relies on the teamwork of the volunteers. He was also grateful to each one of them, as they have been working non-stop at the venue.
As the temperature dropped below 0 degrees Celsius in Serbia, city volunteers have gone to one of the refugee camps to distribute winter clothing. Upon receiving the goods, the refugees could not wait to put them on. The ground is covered with a thick layer of snow as the temperature has dropped to more than -10 degrees Celsius. There are short-sleeved pieces of clothing on a clothing pole. These are all that the refugee family has.
We don't have enough for all of them, so we are just we must wait. So it really means a lot to us.
City volunteers have come to the Kerjakin refugee camp to distribute winter clothing. Since the camp is quite small in size, everyone can only wait in line outdoors to receive their winter clothing. The volunteers felt for the refugees, but they could only follow the rules of the refugee camp.
It is so cold that our lips have gone numb. They are colder than us, as some of them are only wearing slippers.
The children do not even have warm jackets. This is truly difficult for them. We are very blessed.
Some people waited in line for 1 to 2 hours, wearing only short-sleeved shirts. The snow started to come down harder, and the volunteers became worried about the refugees. They hugged the refugees, hoping to keep them warm with their body temperatures. The people who have received the winter clothing couldn't wait to put them on once they returned to their rooms.
So happy. Yes. Thank you so much.
The volunteers have delivered love and warmth to the refugees, helping them cope with a difficult life in the foreign country. In Ho Chi Minh City, city volunteers have held a winter aid distribution benefiting 400 households. Besides the volunteers, City Hall staff members also came to help out.
Giờ mấy con không biết giúp cho bác nhiều, cho bác vui, phải không? Có gạo ăn Tết, phải không?
Although it's only a few words, but the resident was grateful for the supplies. In Vietnam, city volunteers conducted an aid distribution. Many volunteers were mobilized to assist at the event. Even the staff members of Ho Chi Minh City Hall came to help and guided the local residents at the distribution line. "300 impoverished households in Binh Dan district and 100 in the Dan Phu district all attended the event.
Today, the Tzu Chi Foundation came to provide New Year gifts for the impoverished households of both Binh Dan District and Dan Phu District. We're grateful and delighted that Tzu Chi can walk into our communities, collaborating with us to provide care for the local residents.
Although the work is a little tiring, but I'm happy to assist people in need.
The aid supplies were distributed based on the number of the family members. The supplies included financial subsidies, rice, salad oil, and more, hoping each family can spend a good new year together.
I know all of these supplies comes from the generosity of many. I am very thankful.
I'm deeply touched. Thank you for coming here to provide care and comfort to us. You understand our hardships. Thank you.
At the venue, the volunteers also promoted the benefit of using reusable bags, hoping to implement environmentally friendly practices in residents' daily life.
Malawi is the 8th country in Africa that city volunteers are assisting. This time, volunteers travel over 2,400 kilometers by bus from South Africa, which was a ride filled with many obstacles along the way.
In the previous 2 trips to Malawi, Tzu Chi volunteers went by plane, and this is their first time going there by bus for their 3rd mission. They have to go through Zimbabwe and Mozambique to reach Malawi. The distance is 2,400 kilometers, and it takes them 3 days and 2 nights. This long trip is full of trials. The weather is very hot, and the bus they took has no air conditioner, so the bus is like an oven. And before long, the volunteers have finished their food and water. When they get off the bus to buy their supplies, they have to watch out for thieves. When they are at the Malawian border, the checks are very severe to find any smuggling items, so it takes the volunteers 5 hours before entering the country. When they are about to start their first day of work, they run into huge thunderstorms, so they can only wait in a gas station. When they arrived at Machinjiri at last, it is not easy for the grandmother volunteer Eleanor Combo to get off the truck because she has been sitting at the back for a while. Thus, some other volunteers found a wheel for her to get off the truck as a ladder.
It's difficult, but I'm happy about my job. Our master, I know, is happy about what we're doing. Oh, but the rain, it was too much over us, but it's blessed. We are blessed.
They have finally arrived at their residence. The trials are not over. Because their residence does not have running water or electricity, the volunteers are already hungry and exhausted, but they go out and borrow 2 ovens to cook their food. Nevertheless, the seed of love is sprouting. Annie Ness, whom the volunteers helped repair her home in the first visit, came forward to help the volunteers pack the corn powder. In Chikombe, the volunteers have to travel a long distance to every family they visit. The volunteers give every family corn powder, red envelopes of blessing and wisdom, and used clothes from South Africa. 4 days, the volunteers make no complaint about it, and they are filled with happiness.
Today has been a good day. You know, we've visited plenty of people. All the people were happy of us.
The volunteers traveled a long distance to help those in need. They also hope to inspire more local people to become involved and to turn everyone's future with love.
Singapore Tzu Chi volunteers held a year-end blessing ceremony. This year's event included a lot of different elements, requiring volunteers to prepare in a short amount of time.
The year-end blessing ceremony at the Singapore Chinese Cultural Center attracted more than 4,300 people over 2 days. A video showed Tzu Chi's charitable acts over the last year, letting the audience learn more.
When watching Tzu Chi's disaster relief work, I cried from the beginning to the end. I wasn't just watching the video, but I was also thinking about how to help other people.
The
theme of the year-end blessing ceremony is humanized bodhisattvas. It is different from events in the past. In addition to being grateful to supporters over the past years, we want them to join our ranks and become volunteers.
Behind the scenes are a group of volunteers who work diligently to decorate 3 floors and 7 exhibition areas. All this needs to be done in less than 1 day. This volunteer even designed the special well.
整个井呢是用50个这样的保特瓶做成的。
The whole well was made of 50 PET bottles. The initial idea was to make this look like bricks, but it absorbed too much of this color. Then I learned that I needed to let it dry before I could add it.
到后面我才发现，你上了一层后要让它干，干了之后你再上。
这个其实是一棵无叶树。
This is a leafless tree. People can just choose one leaf and write a wish on it and then add it to the tree.
Recognizing that environmental protection is an urgent task, she recruited her parents to help her complete the display.
就是让他们感受一下。
I hope they'll feel my passion. The most important thing is our spiritual environment. In the process of doing this, I saw some information which reinforced the importance of environmental protection as time is running out.
In carrying out this annual event, volunteers have shown their great achievements over the past year with the hope of inspiring more people.
In our next report, we'll meet a man who became paralyzed from the waist down more than 10 years ago. He was once feeling hopeless until he met other patients with spinal cord injuries. Since then, he has joined the chorus and begun to help other physically challenged individuals.赖昱菘, who's 187 centimeters tall, is taller than most of his friends. However, when he was 35 years old, he fell and injured his spinal cord, leading him to be paralyzed from the waist down.
I saw a fruit knife on the bedside table, but my body lacked strength, so I couldn't even move. I couldn't even get to the knife to try to end my life.
While he was at the peak of his life, Lai suddenly became wheelchair-bound. This is something that he had to deal with for the rest of his life. He was able to change his mindset when he met other patients with spinal cord injuries. He has found hope again through playing the harmonica and singing.
I could sing and vent my frustration and anger. First, you can get rid of your negative emotions. Secondly, you can also increase your lung capacity.
Having participated in the chorus formed by patients with spinal cord injuries, Lai has changed his mindset. He started to be the active voice for all physically challenged individuals. He believes this may be his predestined mission in life.
If we want to seek help, we need to extend our hands out. If I just give up on myself, no one can help me. Mr. Ai is very active and he has a positive outlook on life. We will always do our best to help him in any way we can.
Higher powers will help those who help themselves. As Lai faces his fate with courage, he's now leading a fulfilling life while enriching the lives of other people at the same time. In Malaysia, there's a care recipient named Rose who's also paralyzed from the waist down. Despite that, she still carries out household chores and plants taro roots. However, after her husband passed away, she was low-spirited. Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers found a way to bring back her smile again. My name is Rose Solu Tagao. I'm from the Kenyan ethnic group. Everyone calls me Aunt Flower because there's a flower on my hand, and Rose is part of my name. Although flowers are beautiful, they don't last forever. I also have my problems.
Saya pun ada masalah sendiri.
I want to boil some water. Let me introduce my kitchen's design. All the equipment are kept low because I'm unable to stand and walk. Since my legs are weak, I use my palms and knees as legs. I've been living in this way for several years. Of course, life is difficult because I'm not able to stand. I live by myself now. I used to live with my husband before he passed away.
Halo, jumpa lagi. Kasih kita makan baik-baik. 3、2、1，
Okay, makasih.
加lagi. 大家最爱吃的食物。
If Tzu Chi volunteers visit me, I'll be very happy. Because I have friends to chat with, I won't feel bored.
这 真的看到这个案主呢，他本身。
This care recipient has a very positive outlook on life. When we first saw her working in a toro farm, I was wondering how she could manage to grow them by crawling. But after watching her work, I was deeply touched.
看了心里面真的是，好像看了很感动，这么。
She never gives up on herself, but strives to live her life well. And she never complains her life situation. She just tries her best to keep going. Especially after her husband passed away, we felt that she has lost a life partner. We thought we should support her mentally and physically so that she will feel that she is surrounded by friends. Therefore, we want to lead her out of her own little world, hoping that she can spend some time interacting with others. Then we suggest that bring her out to do recycling.
If I go with volunteers to do recycling, I will ask them to help dispose my rubbish and shop some daily necessities from store on the way home. It's twice a week.
Rose is her name. It is the same as the flower rose. Though she crawls on the ground, I think her spirit resembles roses that crawl upwards towards the bright sun. To me, she is indeed a very passive and optimistic rose who never gives up on herself.
Fortunately, Tzu Chi volunteers walk in and help me out. Without them, no one would help me. I'm deeply grateful to every one of them. The U.S. TIMA team went to Puerto Viejo to conduct free clinics. Today we have some of the most important services. We have general medicine, acupuncture, Western medicine, and dentistry.
I have been in Mexico 3 times. Ecuador is the first time. We use the acupuncture to solve their problem. We can help and take the pain out.
He has a disability and he falls quite often.
He got the problem on his leg. He cannot walk. According to Chinese medicine, the left side, that's the liver channel. So I just use the acupuncture to stop the pain.
I was feeling like I had every illness. I was full of pain. Then my back pain took over. And just now, those little needles were magical. They didn't hurt me, not on the sides, but the ones in my veins hurt a little, but they gave me energy and relief.
They are happy, then I'm happy too. I'm more than happy.
The pharmacy will give you medication for a headache, but then you also have to deal with the unwanted side effects. However, this is different. This type of medicine is natural.
We can help as much as we can, as many people as you can. It doesn't matter it's in which country. And so I am so appreciative I have the chance to come over.
Tzu Chi has done a lot of things in many parts of Ecuador. Tzu Chi has left an enormous legacy. When they help you, the help comes from the heart. And they came when we needed them the most. That's something you'll never forget.
Tainan University of Technology is now providing a sewing class for children. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.